Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents. In today's episode, we bring you a tier list worthy of Atlantis, Baywatch, and Conan. What do I mean? Nobody knows. Enjoy.
Well, it's the 3
Smelly welly Wellington boots.
amigos. The trio is back. The triumphant, if you will.
Howdy how.
The trio triumphant. I'm here for that.
I like that.
The
the 3 boys.
triumphant.
This hasn't happened for a while. We've had a whole raft of wonderful guests. We've had a few of us missing, taking turns of missing some episodes, bouncing back. But I'm going to start today off by welcoming, of course, the one, the only Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
Oh, that's me. And passing it over and around to Russ from GFN Gaming. Yeah. Not wasting any time today. We got some hot and fresh stuff to get to today.
And I'm gonna hula hoop this. Oh, I'm gonna hit the desk. I'm gonna throw this welcome back up to the one, the only scum himself, Rhys from 3 Star Wound.
The scum between your toes here, ready to party with you guys. There is a story associated with that, but we don't have time because today we're doing something. It's never been done, guys. I've never seen this done by any channel ever, anywhere. I'm going to bring it up.
An original idea. This is an original idea for sure.
This is, guys.
In the brains of us. Yeah, original thought.
Guys, it's a tier list. It's up on the screen.
I think we should probably explain what a tier list is.
I mean, people
because I don't think a lot of people are gonna know.
This will look alien.
You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
It's like a ranking. Is Ben finally seen? Yeah. So Ben has not seen the list.
I'm just saying, and so I'm putting it together. Baywatch is a deep cut. Good on you for actually knowing. So this is a. So
the scale. The scale is.
The scale is Jason Momoa. What projects that he's been in?
It is.
Oh, I love it.
Of Momoa's good showers. So if you've had a good showing at a tournament, it's the Momoa's good showers. So D.
Momoa's good showers.
The only thing we could go for.
I love it.
Momoa's good showers. We've got D for Dune, C for
arguably
Conan the
best
Barbarian, B for Baywatch, A for Aquaman, and then we got crowning the jewel of the top is S for Stargate Atlantis.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Need we say any more? I think it's a tier list that explains itself.
What a little treat for me.
Yes.
A little treat for me.
When you're
Russ, is this your idea?
When you're late to the chat, this is what happens, mate. Me and Russ get carried away, we get chatting, and things happen.
And then you get a Momoa.
Who was the originator of this idea?
We know it was
Who originated
Russ.
this idea? It was Russ, yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Love it.
As soon as you were late, I was like, it's got to be Jason Momoa.
Yeah. So for those listening, we will do our best to explain it. But obviously, Stargate Atlantis is our S tier. Aquaman, believe it or not, A. B for Baywatch tier. C for Conan. And D, you are cast into the deserts of Dune if you're on the D tier. This tier list, though, as well, this isn't your competitive tier list. If you're here for the meta, the teams you should be playing to win every game, you've come to the wrong place. You've come to the wrong podcast, if I'm being honest. We're the casuals, baby. And we're going to have some things that add to teams. We're each sort of bringing our own thing that makes teams special to us. Like my personal thing I rate a lot of teams on is their moxie. Teams have to have a lot of moxie. And that's going to go a lot, take them very far in this list. Russ, you've got a little something, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams on this list that I know almost next to nothing about. So I'm adding mystique as a qualifying factor. I think you get extra points for mystique. Like if I don't know what the hell you do, upper tier, mystique. That's what you get. And I think that's fair.
Interesting.
A meta list can only be it's a tier list, and it's kind of. Tier lists are weird because it's based on your own local metas. You might have someone storming it with Arbites, for example, and they're in your meta list. That's S tier. So you know what, Mystique. If you don't know a tier, a team, it could beat you quite comfortably.
Very true.
That's a good point. Mystique. That's a good point. I've decided to judge my special category. I will be judging teams based on hair.
That's decent.
Hairstyles.
Valid.
Not
something that most tier lists keep. Exactly. Not most. Trying to raise awareness over here, Rhys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Is that most people don't take into consideration the hair and the quality of said hair on these kill teams. So I will be judging based on hair. That'll be my special category.
Necrons right down at the bottom for you.
They're really going to struggle. Right at the top, they're going to struggle.
Into the dune, into the desert. Get them out of here.
They are having some tough times. Some tough times. Tau probably also down there, but you have Tau top knots, don't you?
Top knots.
I do. Yeah. Anything can top knots, exactly. Yeah.
Knots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were just about to say anything can have hair, but I dare you to do Necrons with top knots.
Oh, you dare me? I will take that. You think I won't?
Yeah.
Do you think I won't?
I think you might. I think you might try.
There'll be top knots and bearskin cloaks all over those Necrons before you can even blink.
Yes, please.
All right. Now, there was one other special thing about this tier list, and it's a bit of a special treat, but Russ dusted off the guitar, and he's even given us a little intro song. So I'm just going to play it up over for that.
We're making a tier list, checking it twice. We're gonna tell you which team is not very nice.
Yep, that's all it is. Fantastic.
That's
Thanks,
all it
Russ.
is.
Thanks for sending that in.
I submitted that just before the pod started. I thought, I've got 5 seconds spare. Let's give us a theme for this tier list.
We'll come back to that several times throughout the show. I have no doubt. It will definitely be playing it up over. All right. Let's not muck around. Let's get into this. This first team is a great rangefinder team. It's gonna, set up a lot of where other things are gonna fall. We're talking, of course, the Death Corps of Krieg. The veteran guardsmen is the first team. What the first
starting off real strong.
I know,
real strong.
I think so. So you know what I'm thinking? I mean, off the top of my head, I know what they've got. So they get minus mystique points.
Ooh.
Even still, I would put them. You know what? I give them a watery. They're in the water for me. They're either Aquaman or Stargate Atlantis. You know what I mean? They're water-bound currently. And I know what you're thinking. Baywatch is also water, but the aim is to get them out of the water. So I don't think it counts. So I'm going to say A or S tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Off the top of my dome.
I'm gonna chime in here as well and say, while the hair is sorely lacking, I can imagine they have some real mangy pelts of hair underneath those helmets. And I'm also gonna go Stargate Atlantis S tier. I think we gotta go S tier.
Yeah.
You got to. Even with the hair working against them, I think they're S tier.
Yeah, geez, because this puts me in an interesting spot. We've got Aquaman and Stargate Atlantis, and now I feel like
I'm okay to push them to S. I'm okay to push them to Stargate Atlantis.
With the deciding vote, I think for sheer survivability, they've been around for so long. They're still competitive, but the big thing for us as a casual team, they're still a good team just to play full stop, because you can put a whole bunch of bodies on the board. They can do a little bit of everything. Whole lot of guns, whole lot of shooting. You can get even more guys, which is
a whole lot of Rosie.
More guys to die, and a lot of moxie. A lot of moxie in these boys. S-tier,
you know, I haven't counted on the moxie. I think it's S tier. I think Stargate Atlantis.
Gotta go S.
It's that moxie that gets
I think that's fair.
Out of the water and into space.
I think it's that longevity. I think that's definitely counting towards them. They've got a lot of tools, as you say, a big old toolbox, and it's been they've been going around for a long time.
No.
They've also never been nerfed.
I think never been nerfed.
And they're still incredibly strong. If you play against somebody who knows what they're doing, good luck. You're toast.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. That idea of everyone's local meta or team. I think everyone is still experiencing. This team comes in.
Yeah,
it's a tough matchup.
I think you'd probably be surprised if you went to a tournament in your local meta and didn't see at least one person running the Vet Guard. I think most players, good players and new players, will either a lot of new players, because maybe their first team is either Commandos or Vet Guard, are still running them because they're trying to learn the game. And then there's the vets coming back being like, pun aside, the vets playing the vets because they are great and they've got a lot of new ones. So yeah, Stargate Atlantis. Boom.
Out of the gate strong.
Easy.
Shebang.
Easy.
Now from the humble guardsmen to the green tide. We've got the commandos, the other Octarius, Octarius set, if you will.
Let's hear from you first, Rhys. Give us your thoughts first.
Yeah.
Well, look,
because I feel very strongly about this, but I would like to hear what you think.
Orcs are very, very much known for their moxie, so they automatically get some good, strong votes on their moxie.
That's true. Wow. That's true.
But this is a team we talked about the guard not being nerfed much. The Orcs have had a few little tweaks here and there. The biggest one recently that I've been a big fan of was bringing back you can take the squig and our little grot man. Which I actually think was a good little tweak. It was something without being too much. I think these guys are hanging out with the man himself, with Aquaman, around again, especially because they're a great team for casuals. They're a fun team to play. They've got tricks. They don't die too easily. When you muck up, they can fight their way out of close combat, which is really, really good as well. A lot of teams can't, aka guardsmen, once they're in combat, they're in trouble. Whereas the Orcs have a bit more fisticuffs. Can't shoot, but they've got some guns. So I'm saying Aquaman for me.
Aquaman. You know, they do have, and they're like there's a few teams out there that have strong alpha strikes, and this is a team that certainly has. I mean, the problem is as soon as you know it, you can try and counter it, but they do have that deploy a guy with dynamite, charge forward, throw dynamite. They've got like a real start. There's only a couple of teams that kind of have them, this being one of them. I'm sort of like, I think that's good. If I'm going to say mystique, I don't think they've got a lot of mystique.
That's very
just because they're out. For me, even though Vet Guard don't have a lot of mystique either, they don't have a lot of mystique for me. Just because they're quite well known. You know, Just a Scratch is getting played. They're probably going to drop 1 or 2 command points on that sneaky gits thing at the very beginning, and then they're going to hit you hard, and then you're going to reel a little bit. So most of their tricks are well known, but I think they're solid. And like I say, they've been out for a while. So I would say, I'd be tempted to agree that they're Aquamanning it. You know what I mean? I'd be okay. I'd be okay being talked down to Baywatch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So let me chime in here.
I'd be okay.
Let me chime in. I think.
Should we clarify if we mean we're talking about mixed, like regardless of Into the Dark and Open? Like
this is just
a general tier list,
and you're taking them either way.
A general, yeah.
So I think commandos. There's a local player. His name is Ben McMillan, and I have been spanked. I have been spanked by his commandos just so many times that I have seen the best of commandos, and I think so. Competitively or casually, I think I'm not sure which way we're actually going at this point.
Casual,
but I would say for casual play, I'd bump them up. But I think in general, I think they're probably towards the top of B, I would say. I think people do not respect the squig like they should.
Yes.
When somebody knows what they're doing with the squig, it's a problem you either have to deal with or you're losing 1 or 2 or 3 models depending on like how many bodies are in your team. I'd go. Again, I'm sort of caught between. Are we doing competitive or casual or somewhere in between?
Yeah, we're a little bit in the middle. Let's say top of B for now, and we can always slide him up.
I say top of B because there are some monsters that we got to get to down here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the way we're looking for, although we're all jokes aside, if people want to have a team that's good, the teams that we rate here are still going to be good. We are erring on the side of casual, as in I think playability, being able to pick up and play. Most of our listeners, I don't think, are going to go and try and tournament someone with our tier list. But you want to be able to play amongst your local friends and be
for
good.
Fun. Yeah,
this is where you come to. This is the list for that.
This is the scale of Momoa's good showers.
Yes,
this isn't a competitive kill team list. It's Momoa's
go listen to Command Point or something. If you want a real tier list, go listen to Command Point. If you want a fun, goofy tier list, here we are. We're here for you.
These are an amalgamate of our 3 local metas, basically, like how we see these teams doing, as well as how we think in general they will do, extrapolated from our own experiences, I think. And Jason Momoa's. Obviously, he's been in touch. Yeah.
Let's keep powering through, boys. We got a lot of teams to chew through.
Next up, it's the robot boys themselves. It's the Hunter Clade. Again, another very interesting team. Russ, why don't you kick us off with this one?
I like this format that we're now doing. Each of us takes a turn. I don't like that I've got Admech because I don't know them that well.
Could be mysterious.
But I'll give him my best. I'll give it. Well, you know what?
Big
The thing is,
points.
though, I've played him a bunch.
Okay.
But I've never found them difficult to play against. Even though they've got tricks, the things that you know, like the things that look like they'd be good in combat are good in combat. The things that look like they would shoot well do shoot well, and everything else is based around getting the combat units into combat so they can ignore some terrain or the first like stuff that Kroot do. They've got a lot of utility and they can move around. So I think in the hands of a good player, they're really good, but it just feels like one of those teams that has a lot of moving parts that you've got to keep track of. As a result, I don't see a load of these teams in my local meta, just because there's teams that do what these teams do better than these teams seem to do it. That being said, I think like good players can do well with them. It's just I have not faced people who have used them consistently for a long period of time and got to know everything. So I feel like I'm gonna say some form of B tier for me, but I do appreciate that they have some business. And that they could, I know they've got some good stuff. They've got some good guns, but for me, they're probably a higher B team. Just because I don't see them in my meta a lot.
Gotcha.
Ben,
I would go very similar to you. I'd go either high C or like low B. Because like part of how I'm thinking about it is when a team pops up, I'm thinking, oh man, how psyched or disappointed would I be to match up into this team like in a tournament? I know there's not a tournament, but like
no, but even
like to go into these
friendly
guys,
game,
yeah, even like just to match up in general, right? Like they're not a team that I go like, oh man, I'm not shaking in my boots when I see this team.
Yeah,
the player behind it could always with almost any of these teams.
Yeah.
Kill team is so skill based. With these teams could just mop the floor. But I'm gonna go. I think either low B or high C. C might be a little too extreme. I would go low B, high C.
Yeah,
my gut.
I think the good thing, Russ, that you pointed out for the casualists amongst us is at least they do exactly what they say on the box. They just said, you know who your close combat guys are. There's ways to get them into close combat, which is really good. You know who your shooting guys are, and there's some tricks with activations to get some shots of the right order and stuff. I think they're a B, probably below. Again, this is from a casual perspective. I think below commandos, because I think to get them further, you have to really start to untap that. We know we've seen them at a lot of tournaments. They've had quite a few tweaks and nerfs as well, so they're probably not quite where they were when they were top tabling. But I think in terms of probably they'd be under commandos. I say low B.
Yeah,
for me,
I don't think they've got. For me, I don't think they've got any gotchas, which is a great thing. But I don't think they've got any initial like real feel bads. That's like if this big gun shoots you, you're gonna feel it, and that's about as feel bad as they get. And it's sort of like, right, okay, that's which works for them. And they're a very nice team. But I don't mind playing them, like you said. But I would never worry about playing them because I know how I would deal with them. Because they're quite obvious in what they do. So, it's down to player skill on them, really. So, Baywatch. They're Baywatch. You know what I mean?
Baywatch.
They're on the shore.
Baywatch.
They're not in the water. They're on the shore safely.
Yeah, exactly. They got that red float thing that,
we're nailing it. Perfect.
All right. Well, Ben, why don't you kick us off with the next one? I know this is a team near and dear to your heart. It's the Warp Coven, 1,000 Suns. I know Tim played a lot.
Listen, let's keep this short and sweet. I do not care for this team. I've never cared for this team. I don't like it that much, and I think they're not very good. Dune.
Wow! Ben's cast the first into the desert.
Somebody has to hold the bottom tier.
That's true.
I'm looking at all the teams we got on here. There are some S tier teams on here, and someone's got to hold down the bottom. They're also, I'm going to say this, for a casual tier list, they're pretty complicated to jump into. Complex. If I see them on the other side of the table, I'm like, oh man, my Legionaries are just gonna. I do everything they do better. My Balefire Acolyte, his Fire Blast is better than any attack spell that they have access to.
That's true.
So
they've got some annoying.
They can slow down your movement like team wide. That hurt. I'm gonna go either the lowest of C or D. That's where I'm going.
I would say low C because they've got some stuff. They've got like a legit annoyingly good flamers. They've got that -2 shenanigans, and they've got some mystique. because they're so damn complicated, they do
do
get
have some
mystique
mystique.
points. Yeah, they've got some mystique, and that counts a little bit. So I think we've got to push them into C for me. Conan, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, it's Momoan
territory.
Conan.
Yeah.
So
Conan land.
it's not, you know what I mean? It's not.
It's even
not
better. It's even better than the original, is what you're saying.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah. What do you think,
And-
Rhys?
And we
Moving
don't
on.
have
About
time.
Conan or
Moving on, Rhys. What do you think about Warp Coven?
look, I think in this tier list, this is purely based on accessibility, and it's not possible to pick these guys. I tried. We did one of our challenges based around these guys. I made up a whole team and crafted it ready to go. And I think Ben, are you calling Jason Momoa about Conan or Arnie? But yeah, I just think they're too hard to pick up and play. There's a lot that goes on. I'm happy for now to cast them into the desert because someone needs to hold up the bottom, and we need we need our
Let's go around later.
Yeah, we can move
Right,
them up,
we can move it around later.
but it's deep into the desert with you.
In the desert.
For now.
Better and Into the Dark?
Worse.
Worse Into the Dark. Okay, I take that
Worse.
because of the opening doors is not good
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, like the rubrics it's tough. They need some help.
A good player, I'm sure, can do wonderful things, but there's even a reason that even
Absolutely.
the great players don't play them because they're still complicated. And as so there's other
You know
teams
what?
that do it better, easier.
I feel like if I wanted to play Warp Coven, I would proxy Hierotek Circle as Thousand Suns. Get the same
That's a good
movement,
one.
but get the better shooting and the better magic
That's a good
stuff.
one.
But anyway, carry
All
on.
right.
Next team.
Next team, we've got the Novitiates is up next.
Rhys,
Another
Rhys, take it
interesting
away.
one.
Sorry.
Well, we'll build up to Russ talking. We're going to work down the list here to get to Russ because we know he's got thoughts and opinions here. I was angry at this team because I got the first box set, painted it up, and didn't put enough flamers together because I got excited with all the characters and didn't realize you definitely need the flamers. Like that's what the team is based around. So I ended up having to get a second box and then having to paint up 20 of them. It took a long time.
Damn.
In terms of playing them, I really like this team because simply it's called dice manipulation and it's called miracle dice and getting to be able to change things that didn't go right to go the right way. They're not necessarily an easy team offensively because they're sort of close combat, but not really. They've got a lot of, they play in that Pentagon range. They've got lots of flamers, things that need to get close. So I would say these guys are probably high B, low A for me. Just because just because I think to play them well, you have to have good fundamentals of the game first to maximize them. You can change dice, that's well and good, that can make it forgiving, but I'm happy to be swayed on it. I haven't played against them much at all, so I don't know how annoying they are to play against.
Very.
Off to you, Ben.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna go to steal some lingo from the kids these days. I'm gonna go mid. I think they would fall somewhere in the mid for me. I do think that they've fallen out of favor recently. They were the big bad for a long time, and they just sort of fell out of favor with other teams coming out. I'm gonna go B. Anywhere in B, I still think they can punch above their weight class, but it is not an easy team to get in there and make work. Like you said, you're paper thin, 7 wounds, only 10 models. That's ouch town. But they can really play the game really well. I'm gonna go B because I think they can flex a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say A tier, quite solidly A tier for me. Ooh. They've got so many. Yeah, well, you want to shoot them, right? Well, no, you can't shoot them anymore. You got to be within 2 inches, so you're out in the open. Do you declare a shot and they go, faith dice, you can't shoot me anymore? They can deploy that whole thing, so they go, you know what? We've got full length plasmas, and we've got a medic. So if you kill one of my plasma pistol, I can bring them back to life. They've got the medic, they've got the comms. They can pump 2 people up. They've got that annoying sniper thing that just sits on the top and can silent weapon you, the condemned or what it is. The two flamers that are annoying as hell, and all of that dice manipulation, that they're not as limited as Kasrkin to be like, I can only do one.
Sure.
They can be like, faith dice that one, reroll this. Oh, and then I'm going to turn it to a crit. And it's the stacking that just makes it so annoying that you can go from a poor dice roll to I've passed everything. And that just makes them, at times, if I ever see that I'm up against them, I'm like, man, if the guy's got the person I'm playing's got any kind of skill, this is going to be a real rough game. Because they can do so many different things quite well. They are quite squishy, but if they get going, if they plant their cupbearer on a command point and be like, here's another X million command faith points, then they can use them all in one go and be like, well, you've done no damage to me. Boom, here's all the damage. That's a crit. Reroll them, and it's just like, it's oppressive what they can do if they get going. Like if someone gets going with them, if you can, it's kind of like cults. If you can get in there and nerf them early, B tier. But if they get rolling, A to S tier, they can really put the hurt on a lot of teams, regardless of like elite or horde. I think there's got a lot of tours. I would say A, but then that's my local meta and my personal experience with them is that they can do work. Yeah,
and your PTSD flaring. I saw it in your eyes.
It's real. It's real. The thing is, I like playing them because I think they're like one of the hardest teams I play against, because you have to play against, like, luck doesn't matter to them as much because they've got such heavy dice manipulation that you have to play better to counteract the fact that they can beat the averages on a dice roll until you've killed off some stuff. So I like playing them, not competitively. I like playing them casually because I feel like I get better when I play against them. And I've had some great matches against a really good player, Luke, who plays Novitiates really well. So I'm going to say A tier for me.
All right, Ben. We'll give you the decider, Ben. Are we talking better than Commandos, top of B or A? We've got no one in A at the moment.
If they go in B, they're going top B for me. Then I'll submit that.
I think Commandos are pound for pound a better team.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll put them in behind Commandos. Put them in behind Commanders.
I'm willing to.
What about the hair?
Let's tie them. Oh, they have better hair, but they're not a better team. Let's go.
Put them
how about
behind
this?
Commandos.
How about neck and neck Commandos and Novitiates? Right?
Not how it works. You can't put the picture on top of the other picture. But so let's
put the Commandos first.
Let's put
we'll
Commandos
Novitiates first.
And because I would say from what 2 against 3, I'd say definitely appears Russ has coming up against a very good player with them, and they're quite more prevalent in his area. Whereas for me, and
what I think, Rhys? Yeah. You know what I think, Rhys? Sounds like a skill issue to me.
Well, you want to bring
that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Sounds like a personal problem. Yeah, Russ, you suck.
I fully admit Commandos. I have Commandos bias because I've gotten smacked by them so hard. Yeah. So I fully admit that I have Commandos bias.
We've put both your terror teams next to each other on Baywatch. I like it. Next up, we've got the Tau. It's the firepower. Is it the Hunter cadre?
This is a team that swings so hard depending on the map you're playing, which is rough because it means this team cannot be balanced. Yes. It fundamentally is imbalanceable when they will go from S tier to D tier when you change the game you're playing. So for that reason, I think they have to be Baywatch. They have to be Baywatch.
I was gonna say we should like all at the same time. We should say where we think this team belongs. I was gonna say, but you think Baywatch? Okay, I think I kind of think
Baywatch just level them out. Yeah,
I think I would go Aquaman because I think when they are, because you're right, when they're so good, they are devastatingly good, and when they are bad,
but what about
they are 33% bad on
I think because of Into the Dark, they can't be higher than B. Surely.
I still think on Into the Dark, you have to think about them fundamentally as a different team. They still have crazy tools, like they can be zip zapping wherever they want. So I think, to crack the code, which I will not or ever do, on Into the Dark, I think they have tools to be good on Into the Dark. Like people have done well into the dark, but can't argue with stats. 33% win rate on Into the Dark. So my vote would be A, because I still think they're just a busted team.
Yeah, I think it comes a little bit down to that too. Is it's like obviously we look at the win rates and they can be skewed so hard because it's also like at tournaments they're 33%, but it also means like well who's taking them, and if it's not the top tier players or the guys who are going to be winning, that's it. Their losses are going to stack. I think it's a bit of probably your ultra competitive players, put them in the competitive too hard basket. You probably can make them work in ITD, but I can get the same result or better with a different team. So therefore, why would I take them in that situation? I think the big thing that maybe would make me agree with you, Ben, and put them at Aquaman. I can't even say at the bottom of A because there's no one else in there. But is the fact that big guns are king. And if you're new to the game, having the ability to nuke lots of things easily is a great
marker
way.
Lights.
That's it. And to be able to shoot consistently and make it better, I think they're a good casual team because they've got, they've still got medics. They've got a lot of the tools that a vet guard team has, but with bigger guns. They're not as good, but. So
here's the thing about Pathfinders is that the worst gun is 4/5 damage.
There you go.
The worst gun. The loser troop has a 4/5 damage gun. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so even if
their combat's hitting on 5s though.
Yeah.
As soon as you reach their lines, they are dead.
You can shoot into combat or fall back and shoot. My vote is A. We gotta blow through these, but my vote is A.
Well, I'm voted here because I'm saying B. So I'm guessing with 2 for A and 1 for B, we're saying mid A, bottom A.
Yeah. Bottom A is the only A.
This is higher
I'll tell you
than
what, guys.
thought.
I'll tell you where I would put them. Still, all things considered, I'd still put them S if it were up to me. I'd still put them S tier.
That's definitely not happening.
No,
wow,
for sure.
Aquaman,
but if it was just solely up to me,
first
Aquaman. Wow.
Yeah, there we go. We've got someone in the water with Aquaman.
Horrendous.
Moving on.
Showing it up.
It's happened. It's in there. We're moving it on. The next one, it's the first of our white. Oh no, I was gonna say first of the white dwarf. It's the third white dwarf.
We've had 2.
It's the Gene Stealer cult, the Wormblade. My personal favorite team. Near and dear to my heart.
Interesting team.
I might kick this one off because I love them and I want to talk about them.
Go for it. Do it, my brother.
In terms of entry level tricky teams, if that makes sense. These guys are the best. They've got tricks, but they're not so crazy that you can't get your head around it. They're like Trixie Light. Like they're just the fact that they get benefits for changing their order. So you're encouraged to start the game with everything in conceal, which most teams want to do anyway. And then you're changing and you're getting benefits. They can find ways to dig under terrain in an open board. They've got ways to forward deploy, so you can get some little alpha strike things. And again, those things are pretty self-explanatory in terms of it's just a stratagem to have people up the board. I think these guys are good. For me, they do suffer a little bit probably in ITD at times because they don't have huge knockout punch. They got characters. They're an A. They're hanging out. Aquaman.
Whoa!
I'm saying it.
What?
I'm saying it. Maybe it's just these hands
Russ,
that are just
Rhys is
piloting
crazy.
them around.
Well,
Rhys has gone mad.
What kind of crazy world are we in when we've got Aquaman and we've got Pathfinders? So we're in that world already, brother. This is where we are.
Rhys,
and I will say,
are you telling me that Wormblade and Tau are on the same tier?
No, I'm saying
look at me in my eyes.
should be higher.
No, they're definitely They're under Tau, but I think they're better than the Commandos.
No, well, I think
you're
they've got
crazy, Rhys. This is what everybody came for.
This is controversy. I'm throwing it out there.
This is
Fight
wild.
Fight me.
Well, I mean,
I wish I could.
I played them recently in Into the Dark, and there was something interesting that happened because when I saw that I was up against Wormblade, I was like, please not open board. Because I don't like them in an open board because I think they've got a lot of extra maneuvers. But in Into the Dark, they can obviously, you take Fortify, you drop another bunker, and you drop that light covers obscuring thing. And you know what? They get a lot of non-reciprocal shooting all of a sudden. You're like, okay, they've got some play in Into the Dark. That being said, they're very squishy. I think they probably handle Into the Dark a lot better than Pathfinders because they can take the Locust, they can take the Kellamorph.
Exactly.
But if you take those two people out, the team falls apart. If you don't have a Locust, and unfortunately the Locust needs to get up, the Locust is going to kill one thing unless it's a Legionary, then it's going to die against its arms. It's going to kill one thing. If it's Vet Guard, you're going to plow through them. But if it's... Yeah, I think they do struggle, but they can still out-activate a lot of the elite teams. I'm not too sure how they do against Hordes. Probably all right on open because, again, they've got a lot of utility. I really like them. I really like them, but if I see them, like if I get them on Into the Dark, I'm fairly confident I can, like, because they've got big guns, do a lot of damage, but behind walls, I'm quite comfortable moving up, and they've got one, maybe two threats. And basically, you just eliminate those threats, and then you've got auto guns if you can get rid of the big guns. So I don't think they're that dangerous. But between open board, I mean, personally, I would have them higher than Pathfinders, but I would have Pathfinders low B. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say
I love it.
B. I'm going to say B, but B to C. You know what? I think they're probably low B.
So where would you place them in that B tier then? Would they be above?
I would put them behind Admech because I think they're similar to Admech, maybe above Admech. You know what? I think they're maybe above Admech for me, between less than Novitiates, but I think they've got some stuff.
Wow, I'm shocked. So I know I'm going to get outvoted here, but I'll just toss my
100%.
C. I'll throw in C.
C.
Okay. I played up against.
How come C?
I played up against a monster Wormblade player at Kansas City. I lost. He's a great player. He knows his team inside and out. Wormblade. This is a spite voting, isn't it?
Sounds petty.
First off, no. I just don't think that. I don't think they have the tools. Like, yeah, they could do some cool stuff. Also, I think shotguns over auto guns every day of the week. Those, I had a shotgun put down one of my Legionaries in one shot. I cried. Just spiked real hard, and I failed. I think C, because you have your mining laser and you have your seismic cannon, and the mining laser is the only real damage dealer. But like, again, any of these teams in the hands of a good player can smash. I think C going into a lot of these teams. I think Pathfinders would just smoke these guys like crazy. You just marker light their specialists to death. I think so.
Yeah,
I would go
play.
C.
Yeah,
I would go
I think
C.
Pathfinders would probably win them.
I would go C, but I know I'm going to get outvoted, so I relent. I pass this up to you guys. My two delusional co-hosts. Where would you guys?
You said A, didn't you?
B, C.
I said low B. Let's go low B then, because I was kind of like mid to low B. You said A, and then Ben said C, so low B.
Just feel like
chat, help us out, chat. Give us. I mean, we're gonna put it where we put it, but help us out. Where do you think? Just I want to see where the chat thinks. Where are you guys putting it?
There's a lot of salt that just seems like with you, Ben. I just feel like it's personal with the Wormblade. We've had a vote for B. We've had one vote coming. Someone's coming with S just to really mix it up.
Oh, B tier. You know what? It seems
low B. Yeah.
Okay,
fatty
you know what? It feels like we're getting there with low B. Okay,
right,
low B. I can live with low B. Can
I just ask the chat? Do we think Pathfinders are A? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Can we just get a quick chat check on Pathfinders at A?
Please.
Are there many Pathfinder players in your local meta, Russ? I am curious.
I've played 2,
really?
But it was both Into the Dark, so it's not a great showing for them.
Have you? Okay, gotcha.
All right.
I do think they would be great.
The towel. Let's go on to the next team so we don't get bogged down.
Let's move on. How long have we been going? 39 minutes. Good God Almighty, we got to start.
Let's chain some. Let's chain some. Okay, let's go.
Next team. So we got the White Dwarf team. What are they called?
It's Harlequins here, guys.
Oh, it's you. Go for it.
Okay, so don't know them. Mystique High. I'm gonna say A.
A feels good. Feels good.
Never played him. I say Mystique High. Long legs, jumpy, shooty. Momoa's good showers, says Aquaman.
Ooh, I concur. Rhys, do you have any objections?
Nice. Well, look, I mean, only thing I wanted to say is I've never played against the Harlequins, so I have to join
Mystique
Russ
level
in
high.
Mystique and have to go with what I've heard and seen is that for a long time they've always been considered broken, scary, bad, nightmare fuel. And I think they would have to be the most nerfed team in the game. Like, I know obviously this is Compendium and White Dwarf included, but they've copped a lot of tweaks and apparently it's still very good. And anything that has fly,
still a good team.
Ignore terrain, I would say only based on Mystique and apparent Moxie that they would also be A.
Yep.
I think below Pathfinders, A.
Yeah.
This would be my vote.
I think now since they've had some hits on the noodle, they'd be below Aquaman.
Tau Ben says they're not as good as Tau. So we'll go there.
Who's Tau Ben?
Next team.
Next team, Corsairs, A. I say throw them A.
Yeah.
I say I don't care whether they're above or behind Jesters, but I think A. They're a great team, I think.
Yeah,
or B.
I think they do everything.
Or you know what? If you want to put them in high B, like I'm also okay for that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd say B or A. I think they do a lot of stuff.
They can be super powerful.
Yeah, they've got the worst bird in the game.
Yes, the chat is spot on that the team is good, but the bird is F.
so bird is with the Fremen. It's in Dune, but we're saying the team is Stargate Atlantis. So somewhere in the middle, let's say B tier. is where they meet.
When in a game where movement is king, the Corsairs have it in spade. I play against Corsairs a lot. And their threat range is ridiculous. Like that's just at all points you don't have to just go. Can you just and not to mention the leader with the dual activation thing that he can do.
Bubble's quite good.
And there's some psychic powers. I think they're a great team for a casualist or a good player alike to pick up and play because they can teach you the game really well. And that movement to get your points is huge. So I'd say A.
God damn that bird.
But God damn that bird. That bird nearly knocks him down to B, if I'm being honest. But I would say, would we say above the
top of B?
Clowns?
Top of B?
Or top of B?
Oh, we're going A.
Well,
I don't know if we're going top of B or A. What do you think, Ben?
I'd probably say the only thing is once you get on top of them with a few deaths, they fall apart quickly. They're only
that's the elf thing. They can hit you really hard. You charge in with a legionary or get charged. Like, oops, you might be dead in 2 hits, bro. Like, I say I would go either A or B. What feels good to me.
Let's
what do you guys
top
think?
of B. I think top of B's
top of B
for them for now.
Top side of B. Yeah, they're a top side of beef.
Yeah.
And moving on to Legionaries S++, Stargate Atlantis. Moving on, what do we got next, guys? What's next?
Look, that's hard to argue with on that one. Legionnaires, I think, are the poster child for Cheese Chasers Anonymous.
I think they're. I think they're high A. I don't think they can be C.
I think they're.
C.
I think no. I'm just being a jerk. I just love them. I would go low A or high B.
Yeah, I think they're close to Corsairs. Like they've got a lot of tools to do a lot of damage to a lot of different teams. They plug in quite well to a lot of different play styles, but you can be out activated annoyingly. But you've got implacable if you Nurgle, so at least your Overwatch if you set up right.
Yeah.
But I think they're one of the best, if not the best, elite team. Although obviously Intercession are probably going to be the best. But you know what I mean? Like they're a great team, and they're a great team to learn the game with.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. My real actual vote is the tippy top of B is where my heart says they are.
That seems it. Papa Kraken agrees. Legionaries are B, and I kind of think I agree. Affable Moose is kind of leaning towards A as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was leaning towards top of A just because, again, we're still got to keep the casual element in it. And for a casual player, there is very few teams that are as forgiving as the Legionaries. Like, you can, especially if you run them as Nurgle, you can make a lot of mistakes and not die and get a chance
I would argue that the nerf to Nurgle, the nerf goal, the nerf to Nurgle goal has dropped them to B. That would be my one argument is that it would be high B.
So good. It was so good.
It was too good.
Mutagenic Flesh was too good. I'll admit
let's go tippy top of B. We might have to have a bit of a reshuffle and obviously move the Gene Stealer cult up to A at some point a bit later because it's getting pretty full there. But we'll reassess. We'll revisit. We'll come back to it.
Do we have compendium teams in here?
All to Dune. Any compendium team goes to Dune.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we just don't have time for them. The next team
Just
up,
don't.
Russ, near and dear to both of our hearts. It's the Blooded.
Ooh, blooded.
It's the Blooded. So good on Into the Dark. So good on open play. So much utility. You are squishy. You're very squishy. Your equipment's, I mean, you can take basically beast pelt if you're facing anyone that's got blast or any kind of torrent or anything like that, or splash damage, but their equipment's kind of rubbish. Their strats aren't super great, but they've got some great tack ploys to give you APL 3 on a bunch of models. They reward aggressive play. So if that's your deal and you need to race forward, you can race forward with a leader with a plasma pistol, get Gaze of the Gods turn 1 and guaranteed crit someone in the face. Yeah, it's a real personal feeling. I love them. They're my most fun team to play, and I think as far as a second team, if you're a casual player and your first team is an elite team, I think your second team, which introduces a whole new, the next step of like counting counters, like tokens and stuff to get you ready for any team. I think Blooded are so good because they've got the Blooded token mechanic, which is that extra step that you don't really get with Legionaries or Intercession, that gives you a whole nother gameplay feeling. I think this, I mean, yeah, Papa Kraken saying the Thug is so good. The Thug against people like Legionaries or Vet Guard, not Legionaries, like Novitiates or Vet Guard, when they're doing 2-3 damage and you're knocking it down to 1-3, you give them a 6-up, feel no pain, and you're just chugging through. I've had a Thug delete like sections of teams just because he's thumping out the damage and reducing it.
Because he's a Thug.
Yeah. But you can struggle against the higher teams. Like a Gellerpox is going to give you some troubles. And it's going to be hard to counter. I would say, for me personally, I'm going to say A, but
yeah, I agree.
Because,
A for sure.
Okay, I don't have to fight that too hard. Okay,
no, they're
awesome.
awesome.
I'll say A. Yeah,
Blooded have never had a nerf, right? They've never had a change. They have consistently been awesome.
The grenade nerf.
Yeah, that hit everybody. So that did hit them pretty hard. Because in the beginning, everybody thought, oh, the only thing that is keeping this team alive is Blooded, or is the grenades.
Yeah.
And then guys like Baki came up and said, no, actually, this is how you pilot this team. A for sure. A for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna struggle to argue because I said I've got a soft spot for them. And I think Russ was just saying, their equipment and their ploys are a bit rubbish, but in some ways it doesn't hurt as much because each character has so much baked into their rule sheet. Like you've already got so many abilities, and so even if you just end up kind of forgetting those while you're getting used to them, you still feel like you've got special ploys and stratagems going on because there's so much character in each of the models, whether all of them do something cool. You can have an Ogren, you can have the Enforcer, you can have more models. So even that ability to get used to making a team and changing a roster, they're such a great second team. So A for me.
I do love them. Yeah.
Above Clowns, above Tower, below, where do we think?
Don't know the Harlequins. So for Mystique, I think they beat Blooded on Mystique for me. Okay. So I'd put them below Harleys.
Yep.
I agree.
Based on Mystique. Mystique alone. Mystique.
Where else are you going to find a tier list that has Mystique as a metric? That's all I'm saying.
I'm right.
The big boys, the hard-hitting free data sheets of the Intercession kill team.
ST, next team.
I think that's true. They are so good.
The best elite team far and away.
Yeah.
I say this and this is no offense to anybody who likes or plays them, but it's a brain dead team. They do, and that is a great thing for casual play. It's a great thing for new players. It's a great thing if you want to go take it to a tournament and not have to work that hard. Like S, I would say low S. I would say like under Vet Guard.
Really?
Vet Guard could.
I think they would destroy Vet Guard if you paired. I think 99% of the time you would destroy, and they're easier to play than Vet Guard.
From a casual standpoint, but we're talking casual standpoint.
From a casual standpoint, I don't think you get much more S tier. I mean, Didima says as well, free rules. You don't get much more casual than that. The definition of casual, you don't even got to buy the rules. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think they have to be the top, really.
Ooh.
But,
wow.
I mean,
For casualness, I'll have to agree.
Yeah.
If we're throwing in the
Yeah.
casual side of things, because nothing means anything in the tier list of casuals, where
basically.
we change ranking to ranking. For the casual alone, absolutely. I have to shut up and agree.
All right, that's that next one. Now, from one Space Marine to the next Space Marine, it's the much maligned brother, the Phobos, who I think have had a glow up. Have had a glow up.
One word.
Yeah.
One word. I say, first off, one word, Vanguard. Next word.
Yeah.
Let's all give it our rough opinion on it at the same time. You guys want to do that?
Yeah.
See what we think? Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
C.
E. So we all said a different one.
Yeah.
What movie by Jason Momoa starts with an E?
Oh.
Okay, that's all I'm saying, Russ. Come on.
I said B.
Oh, I thought you said E. I was like,
no,
what?
I didn't say E.
B. Okay.
There will be a film though. There will be a film.
I'd say either low A or high B, because now like their monsters, like the damage reduction that a lot of teams had now does not help against bolter discipline. They're sneaky. They're fast. Vanguard is just insane.
Yeah, Vanguard's amazing.
Yeah.
I go high.
Yeah.
Either low A, high B is my gut.
Do you know my favorite thing is we
B.
all said different letters, and even the chat did the same thing. Like 3 people
DCB, yeah,
responded,
we've got
and then
DCB.
DCB. So I'm like, it's not just us. It's good. This is what we want. We're having a great debate, a great talk here.
If we're talking in our own local metas, my local metas has some good Phobos playing happening. There's some good players piloting, and that's getting they do well. They feel quite like a balanced team now. Whereas Intercession feels too like if you want to play Marines, but you want to have a challenge and you want to try and have to play a team real well to get wins, Phobos seem to be the choice. Just because they're not. You're gonna have to do something decent, but you got like grenades to like. I mean, you got a whole lot of things. You got smoke grenades, nice little movement shenanigans. I think they've got a lot of tricks, and they're more interesting than Intercession as terms of a Space Marines team. It's great that there's two Space Marine teams that are quite different. But I think they're quite balanced. I think they're, I don't know, low B, mid B, something like that.
Oh, you think so? I think they're better now. I think the matchup into Legionary has changed quite. Like it used to be in favor of Legionary. Now, man, I'm not so sure. It's at least much more balanced. I'd go high B or low A is what my gut says. I just think like in the hands. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I said C based purely on the fact that they've got some really for a casual player, they don't have the out of the box firepower that other teams have. They're not rocking plasma guns.
There's no plasma.
It's a lot of bolt. So if you go Intercession, Legionnaires, Gellerpox, teams that are going to have those, things that take. Now I guess torments and things like that too. There's some bad matchups for them, but I'd definitely be talked up to B because I think a lot of the other nerfs to everyone else made them better. Like I always liked them. I played them quite a bit. I've always liked them, but I just felt they lacked that punch. But now that some of the other teams have been brought down in terms of their durability, it's boosted them up. So I'd be happy to say maybe would we go above Novitiates? I'm gonna put it out there.
I think above Commandos.
Above Commandos, yep.
I would say they are neck and neck in different ways with Legionary. That's what my gut says.
Yeah, let's put them next to Legionaries.
Next to Legionnaires. There we go.
Ka-chow.
Chicka chow.
Humping through it.
On to the next one. So,
Breachers.
Got the B-Reachers.
Ooh, the B-Reachers. The B-Reachers are way better than BA Watch. So I say either I say A.
Yeah.
They're real tanky for a horde team. They're not real fast like other horde teams, but they're real tanky. Good players, just wreck your day, ruin your life. I'd go A.
I can't argue. A.
Yeah, I'd struggle to argue with that. I think they've got great tricks. They've got options in the way you can build their list.
Yeah.
They're good in obviously great in ITD. Still good enough on open board with the shorter range. And forgiving for a horde team. Like they can take a hit.
All getting that +1 wound. They've got a couple of gotchas in there, which they can kind of like ruin some of your moves with, ruin your day. Yeah, I think A, solid A team. Should we put a mid A above Blooded?
I was thinking maybe here.
That feels okay.
Yeah, maybe here. Maybe just above.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
Feels good.
Hey guys, that was really quick. That was one of the first we all agreed.
Ooh, yeah. Let's be honest. It's because none of us know that much about them. Let's be real. That's the truth.
Well,
Am I wrong?
Them. I've played them a bunch of times.
I've played them quite a few times. Yeah.
I've not played as them.
So eat your words, Ben. Eat them. Yum, yum, yum.
I was just thinking like, wow, that was a quick decision. We must not all know them that well. Okay, yeah.
Next up, we've got the Kroot babies, the Starstrider kinband.
Kroot.
This is a team for me. Rule of cool. I wish they were better, but I think unfortunately they fall into that category of they're quite hard to pick up and pilot and be good with, and they've got a lot of bad matchups. So for me, these guys are going to be in the less good remake Conan for me anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
Conan Town.
Really? Conan Town.
Yeah.
I've played them a few times, and again, it was good player, but they do have some stuff going. You know what? They lost the Krootox, put them in C.
Yes.
No
C,
Krootox,
baby.
Conan, easy. They're a great team, and they've got some good shenanigans. They've got like that whole strap ploy where they can like dash a whole bunch of dudes, change a bunch of engagements from and they've got some shenanigans. They do recon real well, but they got rid of the Krootox. Best model in the game, Conan remake. I'm fine with that. Yeah,
it's a shame.
Agreed.
I said I painted them not that long ago. Love the models. Wish they just were a bit. They feel like they don't quite do one thing great. There's nothing you can go, I'm going to stick to this and just be really good at it. Next up, we've got the rogue traders. We've got the Elysians, the Starstriders.
Ooh, someone else is going to have to go on this. I'm going to give them bonus points for Mystique because I've never played them yet.
Big old
I love
Mystique.
the models. Big old Mystique. For me, S grade Mystique. But I have no idea what they do. So I don't know what they do. I've never read the rules because I never. I've got the rules now. Maybe I'll read them.
No, that's a lie.
Mystique. That's all I've got. Mystique. You guys go. I don't know.
Let's go. Man, this is a tough team. I as well do not know a ton about them. But if I play into them, I am a little scared of them because I don't know what they do.
That's my thing. Yeah.
Let's go low. Baby. Low A? Can anybody argue with low A?
No, I can't argue with it. I'm the same. I've painted them, have yet to play with them, but all I know is obviously the support assets make them really strong. And I think if you've got good synergies, like they have not strong characters, but very like characters that do things very well. And they got a few tweaks with like the Electromeister and a few of the other little characters that just made them. Yeah, I think that they'd be low A, top of B, because I still don't think because of those synergies, they're the easiest to play. That's probably what knocks them down for me.
They're another team that, from what I understand, has like an alpha strike capability with their support assets that they can, like Legionaries have that. You get the warp dude in a good place and you can blast a whole bunch of dudes with that move dash blast. That, from what I understand, they do have a good alpha strike as well. So yeah.
Would we say, just controversially, as a casualist, are they better than Legionaries in terms of like if a player was coming to play the game, you wouldn't say you should probably start with these guys. You'd be saying Legionaries.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, but what are we doing here, fellas?
Let's be honest. No one knows. We're not sure.
We're an hour in, Ben. We've got a soldier on. We can't question the format an hour deep.
They're going just behind blooded. Okay. They're locked in.
Otherwise, the whole thing's for naught. Let's power through.
Gellerpox, S tier. Nobody can argue against it. S tier. They're fun. They're smashy. They have big things, little things. S tier. What do we think, fellas?
Yeah, I would agree with that because anyone can pick them up and put the hurt on with them because of the Hulks. The Hulks are nasty. They're a hard counter to so many teams, and they've got Gribblies to do Gribbly things to give you some numbers and some board control and presence. And because of that, you can make your opponent worse, which is good.
What do you think, Russ?
Yes. Russ is looking at the rules.
Looks like you have
sure
some
he's just looking up the rules.
No, I was going to say high A or S. I'm happy with S tier because, they don't have a lot of shooting, but they've got that main dude who's got the drawn to the hum dash. fire belly, a whole bunch of dudes.
They're not necessarily
ST
the
is
easiest.
fine. I'm okay. Yeah, they're not.
They're not the easiest team, but I think, man, like if you get matched up into them in a tournament or even at your local shop for fun, it's like, oh man, they're gonna smash.
You're never having a good game. Like you're never gonna like. That's it. I think you're always like, oh, geez, this is gonna.
That's a rough matchup.
It's not gonna be an easy game. You're never gonna match up against them and be like, oh god, oh yeah. That's
Sweet.
all good. They're in. I'll put them bottom of S. What do you guys think about that? Under vet.
Yeah,
love it.
That's fine.
Love it.
Great. Here we go. Another team that I have played a lot. But Ben, let's you kick this off because I know you've got a bit of experience too. The Kasrkin. Where do you see these guys?
I love Kasrkin, and I love that we've all started pronouncing them correctly. I think that's a big win for us casuals. It was hard fought, but we've got it now. We can all say it the right way. Kasrkin,
we just need to work on Rhys's Legionnaires.
Yeah. And so I think this is tough because I love them. I love them. I think they are an S tier casual team. But as this is a wibbly wobbly, what are we doing land?
Correct.
I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go solid B. Balanced as all things should be.
I think that's fair. They've got a nice
built.
Yeah, they've got a nice amount of dice manipulation. Like that, like it feels like the correct amount. It's not egregious, and they've got decent enough. They've got that comms that can boost 2 people to be to like. Yeah, I think they're a solid team with a nice amount of business. I think Baywatch.
They have a great matchup into if we're talking casuals, what are you going to see everywhere? You're going to see Intercession everywhere. What is a great matchup into them for most teams? I think Kasrkin. They're purpose built to delete elite teams. If you look at their ploys, they are built for you to wait out, like save your big guns, let the elite players activate once they're not ready. Now you get relentless on your plasma. Like they're purpose built for it. I think they're great. I think B. It's my guy. I'll shut up. Sorry.
No, that's I love the excitement. B. Okay, let's go. I can't argue with that. That's I think the good thing is too. They're simple. Shoot, infantry, kill, make dice better. Simple. Whereabouts in B are they above Corsairs?
I don't think so, personally.
No, I agree. I think Corsairs, having played
they're
that
more
matchup
honest.
a lot. Corsair's movement really hurts them, and the fact that Corsairs can get close combat with them and crunch them up. I'd probably even say
commandos. I agree.
Yeah, maybe
under commandos. I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe
I
above
think that's a good
Admech.
place.
That feels
above
roughly good.
Admech.
Yeah, I think
no,
that's
you put them
right.
above Novitiates there, mate.
So I tried. Relax. It's delayed.
Hey, relax. Hey, buddy.
Hey, we're all friends here. Okay, I hope we are after this.
Nice shooting text.
Next up, it's the Hierotek Circle.
Mr. Mystique
strong.
himself.
There
we go. Yeah,
I'm gonna jump in on this one just purely because, as someone who played Kasrkin, this team is a great foil for Kasrkin because they shred guardsmen, and you kill them. They come back, stand up, and then shred you, the guy that just killed them. But against a lot of other teams, no, they're nowhere near as good. I get why they had a million nerfs. But I found them with Kasrkin, for whatever, a really, really hard matchup. And now they've had these buffs. They've climbed a lot. I reckon they're...
Ooh. Say a letter, Rhys. Say a letter. What are you thinking?
Say a film, Rhys. On the scale of Momoa's good showers.
Say a film so we can tell you that you're wrong.
I know. I'm waiting for this. I know, and I feel
Where
like
do the circle
always
jerks
just
rest?
say Baywatch because it's easy, because everyone's like, and you don't feel bad, like in the middle.
They've got to be higher than Baywatch based on Mystique alone.
Oh yeah, well
they've got to be Aquaman, right? Based on Mystique.
Oh man.
I think now they are a high Baywatch to a very low Aquaman.
I love what Samoan Matt said in the chat. This is perfect for a new casual player. Watch this to pick a team to play and walk away more confused than before.
You're welcome.
And tell your opponent your team has Mystique.
Hey, my favorite comment was Papa Kraken. Doing tier lists is the most fun I've had naked. Now that's the kind of fan we love to see.
That is, yeah. That's where we want to be. That's right where we want to be.
Naked.
You heard me.
I'm going to say...
Come
I'm
on,
just saying
B.
low,
You
Ben.
seem you've got opinions here. B.
I'm going
B?
low B. I'm going low B.
Baywatch? Okay.
I'm going low Baywatch.
All
Are
right.
they not that good then in your local area? I
Yeah.
feel like that's quite a low thing. With given their mystique and moxie.
Hmm. It's
Yeah,
the
like,
hair, isn't it? It's
Do
the
they
hair.
have moxie?
I am not
That's what it
terrified. Like, if I
is.
go into Hierotek, I'm not terrified of the
I've
team.
never
I could be
played them, I
terrified
think
of
that's
the
why.
player.
Even after the
Yeah.
changes, even after how beefy some of their things
They're
have gotten
playable
out.
now. They're
Mm.
playable now. They're playable
Okay.
now, but like I just don't
Throw
think
'em
they
in, B.
have. That's my gut. If you guys want to put them
Yeah.
higher, feel free. But I just
How do
think
we
they're
I'm
feel
okay.
just under Kasrkin?
I've never played them before, so yeah.
I think Admech could chop them up.
Below Admech, above
I'm
Wyrmblade?
going to do it because now we've got so many in B, and I think I'm seeing a pattern. We have to move that down as well.
It's
I hate to do
like
it.
nobody's better. Like everybody's better than
Wow.
Wormblade.
Yeah. Now it's because it's true. There's too many in B there, and now looking at that lineup and those matchups, I'm like, okay. I have to
You know what
concede a
though?
little
Is
bit.
This is
isn't
a
B the
testament to
aim?
Kill Team being. Yeah, this is a testament to Kill
Yeah.
Team being a pretty balanced game. Look
Yeah.
how much there is in B, because we know exactly
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We're getting it right. We're batting
Obviously.
1,000.
Yeah,
obviously.
that's how I was looking at it. That we have
Okay.
nailed it.
Should
Everyone's
we
favorite
breeze past the exaction squad and just put them in Dune and then move on to the
I'm
next one,
happy
or do we want to
that.
talk about them?
They need help.
Dune. Yep.
Help them. I'm
Da,
sorry,
da, da,
Exaction
Dune.
Squad. I wanted you guys
Da,
to be
da, da,
cool.
Dune.
Your rules sound great. You're a mess. Clean yourself up. Come back and try again. Hand of the Archon. And we're getting into the new teams here. Hand of the Archon.
Mm.
Elves.
I've played them. Yeah,
Mm.
I've played them a few times. They feel as good into Nurgle, Parkax. That's my favorite god of the chaos. But I don't know who's asking me specifically, but he asked in the chat. That's my Nurgle. I think they've got
Zetch.
a good bit of. Oh, you know what? That's a good. You know that is a
Pretty
good
cool.
one. I think they might be up there with Corsairs.
Mm.
I think they've got the movement shenanigans, as you quite imagine. Obviously, they've got the same kind of weapons, but they've got some combat as well. They've got some real nice combat. They kind of feel like another Corsairs. I just feel like they've got a little bit more, a bit more complicated. They've got a bit more mystique because of that, though.
True.
But they're basically outside of play. They are more complicated than Corsairs because you're. Like strat ploys, they've got a little bit more to them. You've got a little bit of like games within games with their strat ploys. But I think they're a solid team, and I think they've got some good things. They're quite squishy, and you've really got to move. You've got to be careful of blast weapons still. I don't know, but you've got some nice.
Especially the grenade. The grenade is very.
Yeah.
It's hurtful.
But they've got some
That's what it
combat,
is.
and
Yeah.
they do Diddy. They have a better bird. Whether or not that puts them above Corsairs,
Diddy's right.
I don't know, but they do have a better bird.
I feel like this is so tough because Corsairs are a monster team,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear online a lot that people say that Hand of the Archon struggles on Into the Dark. I haven't played the one Into the Dark, so I don't know if that's true, but I hear that they're not as like effective, or excuse me, not as efficient on Into the Dark, which I think hurts them a little bit as Corsairs can be. I'd go. I hate to do it, but is it B? It's somewhere B again,
tier?
isn't it?
I'm thinking
What do
B
you
tier
think?
as well.
I'm thinking
I think B as well.
B just under Corsairs because I'm pretty sure Hand of the Archon, they have to pay for the dash, don't they? They have to pay CP to get the extra movement.
They get, but it has to be together. It has to be a 9-inch move. They can't split it up like Corsairs
That's
can.
what
So
and
nowhere
that's,
near as versatile.
That's it. It's so with Corsairs, I think that's what makes them so dangerous is that versatility with their movement.
Are they better or worse than Commandos? What do we think? What do you guys think?
It's hard because Commanders have been around for so long.
The added complexity that Russ was talking about, I said again, I'd probably say maybe just under Commandos. I'd be comfortable saying just under Commandos.
Yeah,
I think I agree with
that's
you.
fine. I'm okay with that.
Because they're elves and elves be squishy, so that the changing of the movement and the durability, I think, hurts them.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now
Great team, but yeah.
Another team that is built of stature to hold up the bottom of the tier list It's the squats. It's the wonderful team that I really want to love. But they are hard to love due to a movement issue. What do you guys think?
Ben?
Low C? The bottom of C? What do we think?
I mean, their
Yeah, I
guns
think
are
that's
so
fair.
powerful. They can shoot so well. They're changing.
I mean, 4
loadouts.
ups. They're not shooting great.
Yeah, but I mean, sorry. There's a lot of ways to especially
Yeah.
ITD, to make it better. I should say. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
point.
But it's not bad.
Maybe I'm too optimistic here. Maybe I'm being too optimistic.
Are you thinking D now? Are you thinking Dune?
You guys make the call, but I feel like their tool bag is so deep.
Yeah.
But they just need help. Like they need a buff,
Yeah.
absolutely. But like, are BDs bad?
No.
Are they?
No.
I feel like they're better than our BDs. They're either for me top of D or low C. What do you guys think?
I'd say low C.
A low C. I'm comfortable with low C because they're not a bad team. They've just got a core fundamental issue that unfortunately is very important for the game, but they do some other parts, aka killing, and they've got good equipment, good strat ploys, and all that stuff as well. Unfortunately, the movement, as we pumped up the Corsairs before, I think it hurts them.
Yeah, Lapscallion has a good point. They're a Warp Coven tier in my book. I think that is a good take. I think they're very similar in power level. I think it's a good take.
Pretty close. They're pretty close. Yeah.
Top and bottom of their tiers. Yeah.
So
Sweet. We cracked it.
We keep it. Yep. All right. So keeping it bottom C.
That feels good to me. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Felgor.
It's the latest, one of the latest boogeymen, the second to last of the boogeymen teams. It's the Felgor ravagers. I don't think they were as broken as people thought. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, people freaked out and people went to Stupid Town and bought an apartment and bought a house and raised kids in Stupid Town over this team. They are not cracked like people think they are. We'll get to the cracked team.
Yeah.
There is check your lease. Yeah. There yeah, put that on a sticker.
They are an apartment in Stupid City. Yeah. Check your lease, pal.
So there is a cracked team on this list that we will get to in a few.
We're not there yet.
But this is not that team. I would go maybe top of A. What do you guys think?
I was going to say, I still think they're A team. I still think they're A tier.
They're so weird because like they just shut certain teams down so hard, and other teams they have a hard time against. There really isn't much a middle ground, in my opinion. I'd go. As Diddy says,
pets are the best thing in Kill Team, and Diddy says they are a team of pets, so they have to be good.
And casual ranking. Fair. What is more casual than just not dying when you're supposed to
dying?
Yeah, right?
I'm too damn This is Predator. I don't got time to bleed. They don't got time to die. You know what I mean? They just get a little bit.
What
miffed.
a forgiving mechanic for a starting team. Charge forward, die, don't die, kill them anyway. Top of A for me. Top of A for sure.
I think the top of A is fine.
I agree.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, there we go. All right, this is another one. I think this is going to be big on the mystique points for you here, Russ.
Yes, super big.
This is the Inquisitorial agents.
This team done turn blue. Yeah.
Where would you tell me about the mystique elements, Russ? Take me through it.
Yeah, this team. Yeah, it's super mystique-y. I don't know what to say. I know even less about them. Than the Harlequins. The Mystique Sneak, they've got real interesting build. They're probably one of the best teams in terms of roster dynamics that you can take. Such a varied list. I think that with just sheer amount of possible makes for this team, they've got to be pretty high just because
that is the equivalent
if you're building
you may be ugly, but at least you're funny. That was the like the backhanded compliment you gave that team. You're like, you know what? Their roster building is really nice.
This is
you know what? You're so beautiful on the inside.
Well, if this is what this is, if this is now how we're judging the teams, then the Felgor Ravagers have to be HFFA, which is hop from far away, but up close they're nasty.
Very true.
That's how you would qualify that team. And this team double points on Mystique. I've got to say high A. But I just don't know him that well. That's unfortunate. This is all Mystique.
I think you could even go S tier.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Explain yourself, Ben.
Okay, what are some of the best teams we have on even just on our tier list?
Well,
Breachers,
Windblade.
That's a low benchmark.
Breachers, Vet Guard, right?
Yeah.
Gellerpox.
Kasrkin, yeah, Gellerpox, yeah.
Space Marines.
You can take the best from these teams and add them
Gellerpox.
no, shut up, Russ, into your team, right? So you can have Vet Guard demolition cheese going on. You can have, the Navy. I think, man, I think you got to go S tier. I think they have the plasma. They can have a plasma that has blast or a infinite range melta.
Pretty
that's harsh.
Like, it's disgusting. Like, I just think, man, I think S tier for me.
Now,
what do you think, Rhys?
I would actually agree with you. I would say the only thing is probably from a casual perspective, that's where I'm throwing in here, is that they can be a little bit daunting due to the roster choices. If you're a new player picking up that team, one, having all the models, or two, knowing what is the way to go with them could be a little bit intimidating. But in terms of what you can do with that, as you said, you can tailor make the team to beat who you're playing, or at least to make the matchup in your benefit once you know it. I would say for me that puts them just under Vet Guard, because Vet Guard, I just think, well, it's Vet Guard. The choices, you still get choice, but it's more limited. A little bit more of your team composition, how you're going to build it. Whereas this team, just from the casual perspective, I think they're better than Gellerpox though.
Vet Guard is time tested, right?
Yes,
like we know that they're.
Yeah,
I think you could put them above Vet Guard. I think you could, but I think for us casuals, the mystique is so high. Do we really know what we're talking about? No, we don't. Above Gellerpox, behind Vet Guard. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I think I love everything about it, if I'm being honest.
We're down to the last team.
We are.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, guys. All right. Here we go.
Top of S.
Where do we think this top of S tier? S++, Stargate Atlantis, the top. This team, we're talking about the Chaos Cult, by the way.
This
Sorry,
is the Chaos Cult. No,
I walked right over the introduction, the Chaos Cult.
Your enthusiasm was not lost on me. I appreciated it.
This team is, Papa Kraken says they're B. Get out of here, Papa Kraken. Top of S. Top of S. Very tippy top of S. What do you guys think?
I think that the thing, if you have to deploy as this team, they are D tier. But as soon as you start playing, they are S tier. Like, having to deploy with this team sucks.
Yeah.
Must be a
So
nightmare.
hard. 15 models, you've got to cram them into a board operation while taking into account you might get blasted. Like,
very susceptible.
I would fancy my chances with Legionaries as turn one, or like commandos turn one. Maybe you're going to get an alpha strike and you'll sneaky get that dynamite up and absolutely blow up 7 of them, just because there's so many you've got to cram into a map. But yeah, once you start rolling, I mean, and they just steamroll, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Rhys, how about you?
Yeah, look, they are the cartoon snowball that starts small at the top of the hill and then just gets bigger and bigger as the game goes on. If you can get them all on the board, just the fact that they heal is that friendly casual mechanic we talk about.
Yeah, that's rough.
If they didn't heal, or there was some negative if they transform when they were injured or something, that maybe there was a negative, you'd put them a bit lower. But yeah, they're just very good. The Dark Commune models all have some real big play. Like, they kind of get left out of how good and how effective they are, because we get, obviously, the Torments and all that kind of overshadow them a bit. But even the Dark Commune's got some really good tricks.
Yeah.
And because they get forgotten about, because everyone's worried about the mutating and the
Torments.
changing.
Yeah.
They do some crazy
the Icon
stuff.
Arc?
Yeah.
The guy with the Icon Arc is the most busted model in the game.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So now, look, I'm happy to say top of S for me. If not behind Intercession, maybe just purely based on ease of pickup, but in terms of raw power, they're top, tippy top.
Let's raw
Yeah,
power
so-
them all the way to the top.
They won, yeah.
Let's
They
just do
won. They won Kansas City Open. Shane, our boy Shane, won Atlantic City Open with them. I think like out of the top 6, like 4 or 5 of them was Chaos Cults. Like they are just, if you can alpha strike them and they will still beat you.
Yeah, they've got enough to wear
it's
it.
just disgusting, right? Shane, I was listening to Shane talk about it, his recap, and he was saying like one of the most important things about them is to not let your mutant die turn 1, because if you kill the mutant, like that'll really stunt them. But yeah, top of S.
Yep.
Top of S. They're so good. It's insane. What other teams can lose 5 models turn 1 and still come back and win? Nobody, but they can.
100%. Well, there we go. That's that. I hate to say it. Now, is there any last minute tweaking? Is there any balancing issues that we would like to add now we look at it? The good thing is,
let's just move everything to B. Let's just play it safe, guys. Let's play it safe. Everything's Baywatch.
You can't be wrong if everyone's on Baywatch. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
let's Yasmin bleed these guys.
Yeah.
Ben won't get that reference because Ben wouldn't remember Baywatch back in that day.
Nope.
Nope.
I saw Baywatch in a museum one time somewhere.
So let's do a quick, for our audio listeners, a quick summary, because obviously they can't see this. So on Stargate Atlantis, or S tier, we've got the cultists, the Intercession, the Veteran Guard, the Inquisitorial, and the Gellerpox. So very strong S tier. I don't feel like any of that's moving. That feels right to me. You guys happy with that?
Yeah.
I think we are close to where there's good arguments for things being shifted a notch or two up there, like, but I think we're roughly pretty close. Yeah.
Right. All right. Moving on to A tier. So we've got Aquaman tier. We've got the Felgor Ravagers. We've got the Tau there. We've got the Murder Clowns, the Harlequins. We've got the Breaches, the Blooded, and the Starstriders in our Aquaman tier. That's a good tier too. Geez, any of those teams, I think when I look at that, I would have the right amount of, I would enjoy playing those teams, but I would also be worried about those matchups too, which is I think what we wanted in your A tier.
Yeah, feels good.
Next up,
B tier.
Go for it. Take us through Baywatch.
So I'm not sure Legionaries are top of B tier, but in this casual tier list we have Legionaries, Phobos, Corsairs, Commandos, Hand of the Archon, Nuns with Guns. What are they called? Novitiates. Kasrkin, Admech. What are they called? Underclade. And
the Circle Jerks.
Circle Jerks. Yep. And that's what we have in B tier. That feels sort of close-ish, right?
Yep.
That's roughly close.
Yeah.
Again, with a casual lean on it, a casual twist on this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I could see you moving a couple around, but that's where
that's it.
the
I'd
three
say
of
there
us
might be a
have
little
gone.
bit of a shuffle dependent on our areas and metas within that B tier, but I don't see any of them leaving that tier. I think the book.
I could see an argument for a few jumping up, but nothing worth arguing about.
Nothing that's losing a friendship over. That's good. Russ, take us through C.
Well, we've got the Wormblade.
Boo.
Alas. Boo. We've got Kroot, which kinband? No, I don't know.
Yeah,
what they're called.
Farstalker kinband. You got it.
Farstalker kinband. And then we've got the Salvages. You gave me the one where I only know one name. There's only 3. We've got the Squats. We've got the Wormblade, the Kroot, minus the Krootox, and the Squats. Kicking up C, the Conan the Barbarian remake.
Yeah. I think that's 2 teams that you could like. A good way to look at that tier is you can play those teams, you'll have a good time, or play against them, they'll be a good matchup. But there's something maybe missing that stops them pushing up, or something that you've got to put into them that a lot of other teams just have innately. So I think that's a good way to look at it. And cast out into the desert, the desolate wastelands of June. We've got the Warp Coven and the RBTs, unfortunately. Just molding.
Hold up the bottom.
Yeah, holding up everyone else. And it's a shame. I mean, I love the Warp Coven from the lore perspective. I love the idea of how their rules work. It unfortunately ends up a bit too. I can't even remember what things I've given my sorcerers half the time. between mutations,
Oof,
the mix
yeah.
of powers they take. It's a nosebleed without the reward, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah. So
They do have some of those, like, not the feel bads, but they do have a few like movement shenanigans, which is a bit frustrating to play against. But it's not good enough to make them. Yeah.
It's not
But I do
saving
like
them, yeah.
them. Yeah, it's not saving them enough, and obviously they're still quite slow, so it's not like they're Corsairs zipping around and you're really slow, so they can outmaneuver you really easily. They still have trouble themselves, so it brings you down to their level.
Well, I think
movement-wise.
for our first tier list, the first official kill team
And
casual,
only the definitive
as of this day,
scale of Momoa's good showers.
I think it's pretty good stuff.
One and done.
There was some sporting debate amongst it. There was some winners
got
and
hot
losers.
a few times.
Forget what we argued about, but I think Wormblade and Pathfinders were our main argument point.
That were the main ones.
Yeah.
They were the sticking points.
Yeah, I think, once the meta shifts and settles, we could come back and maybe do another one of these in a few months or something. Deep Fatty says, I think this tier list is a solid low B. That's right where we want to be, Deep Fatty. Right in the low B.
That's where we live, baby.
I think something could also be said to do a strictly casual tier list. If anybody's interested in that, let us know. And that would shift things wildly all over the place.
And this is trying to find that happy medium of a casual can play them, have a good time, but you'll also have a bit of competitive. This isn't just that we're trying to find that medium happy.
Trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah, exactly. So
insurmountable, some might say. We are trying to bridge those insurmountable concepts, but here we are.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, well, what else we need right now? We need to hear Russ's theme song again, guys, just to celebrate the completion of the tier list. Here it goes.
We're making a tier list, checking it twice. We're gonna tell you which team is not very nice.
Yep, gets better every time.
We can't hear it.
So good. So good.
I love that you guys can't hear it. I can. I'm just having
we can't hear it at all.
Oh,
Russ,
boys.
you can listen
good
to it
work,
anytime you want at home by yourself. Great work. A few little things to quickly float out there or update you guys. Next week's going to be a bit of a different show. We're going to be looking at taking on a bit of 10th edition, bit of 40k casual content coming as well, which is an expansion on what we're doing. Don't worry, Kill Team Casuals isn't going anywhere. But we're going to cover a little bit of 40k stuff as we're all sort of been either getting into or playing a bit more of the new edition as it's landed. And hey, all the cool kids are doing it, so are we. So I'm excited to share our thoughts about what teams are going to play. And I guess obviously just joining the salt train of everyone's mad about everything. So we're just going to dogpile, I guess.
Get in on that salt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For those of us that have their boxes.
Yeah. So that'll be something
Salt's coming in early.
That'll be something we'll be doing as well as our kill team stuff. So don't stress.
Yeah, looking forward to chatting about it. Like everybody's, it's hot right now. Everybody likes it. Everybody who's into Warhammer's thinking about it. Like I'm getting some stuff ready for 10th edition, like so I can roll some dice with some buds. And for me, I speaking of casual, I think 40k for me, unless I just fall in love, will be like a casual. Man, let's roll buckets of dice. Let's see what happens when big things go boom. Like that's what it looks like is gonna satisfy for me.
I like it. And I think it's that thing as well with because there is now also so much more tie-in between Kill Team and 40k as well. It's like we're seeing models getting released in Kill Team, then they're quickly getting rules and vice versa. I like that there's a bit of a tie-in and those game systems are sort of starting to work together. And there is some sort of bridging things with like combat patrols that you don't have to go spend $9,000 just to start playing the game. So I think there's some cool stuff in the works. And hopefully we're excited now. This tier list kind of signals the end of this latest season of Kill Team as well. We know that was the last of the Into the Dark box sets. We got the Ashes of Faith out of nowhere, but we know the next one we don't know what's going to happen, what the next season's going to be. So
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Much excitement. Thank you again, as always, to the chat. You guys' input into
you guys are the best.
Into the tier list has been awesome. You guys make this so much fun to do. Those at home listening, I guess thank you as well. I mean, I'm assuming you guys are typing at the same time, getting involved. So thank you. Thank you for being you. Thanks for being great.
Appreciate it.
As always, thank you to Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
Thank you to Russ from GFN Gaming.
Oh, thank you to Rhys from Threes to Wound.
That's all three of us. Fantastic.
Oh.
Thanks for listening, guys.
And thanks to the chat.
Thanks to the chat. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Later, nerds.
As always, a big figure 4 footlock of love from us to our patrons who keep the singlets warm and the talc on standby. A big thanks to Kill Team Ken, Roscoe88, Justin Kung, Vulture B, Average Joe 27, Kill Team Cascadia, Craig F. Lincoln, George, Alan Chapman, Hillux, Swanky McMofo, Stooge Co, Admiral Rudy, Michael Richards, Gordon Ballantyne, Dave B, Io Adrian, Storm Owl, Jack Whittingham, Trilly Chatterjee, Vincent Cerruti, Beans, Mark Schuller, Matthew Alessana, and Gaston. And don't forget to submit a face pic if you want to be part of the Royal Rumble t-shirt.